think one of the reasons that I love travel so much is because I find myself hitting the other side of the world, and I'm gonna meet people doing things and living life and thinking in ways that are totally foreign to me. That absolutely happened when we were in Bali. One of the things that we did while we were there is we went and visited this amazing ancient temple that was sitting over these epic cliffs, and we're a few hundred feet above the ocean. And while we were there, we sat down with a man who I had a hard time understanding, but he was going to be teaching us these fundamental breathing exercises for really reconnecting body, mind, and soul. And I love this idea of being a connected human being. Every morning I do a power hour, right? My power hour consists of going to the gym, working out, exercise. It consists of meditation, doing my positive affirmations. It's kind of the way that I start my day. So here we are sitting with this man. I'm like, okay, am I going to learn anything? Because I'll be honest, I've sat down with people before where I'm not really getting any value or getting anything new. Like a couple years ago, I hired these Himalayan monks, and I flew them in, and we're sitting down and spending 2 days learning how to do this pure silent meditation. And it drove me nuts. Like, I love more of an active meditation. So here we are with this guy from Bali, and he's teaching us these breathing exercises. And we're doing like the most bizarre things. It's like covering up one nostril and like forcing air through the nose. And then we start kind of repeating these sounds and these grunts. And we did this for a few hours. Just kind of, it was cool. Like, I'm stepping into this guy's world and trying to figure out what's it like to be this dude. Like, why is he doing this? Why is he breathing this way? Why is he acting this way? Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know if I really exactly figured it out. I just really walked away feeling, the value that I did feel was, wow, people all over the world have their way to connect to self. They've got their way to connect to, I believe we all have this higher and better self, this part of who we are, and that honestly our ego really gets in the way of allowing us to see. I call it the shadow. It's like the part of us that is selfish and is prideful or is conceited or really just wants things for us, rather than this really more global picture and concept of life. And sitting down with this man and with my wife and with some of my very close friends and going through this exercise, the appreciation that I gained is that, we're all different. We do things different. We've got different fundamental exercises and thoughts and approaches to life. But in the end, where are we all the same? These enlightened beings are really just trying to get us connected and back to what it is to be human. And that I appreciate. I may have my favorite ways of doing it. You may have your different ways of doing it. But, most importantly, do you have a way of connecting? Do you have a way of really figuring out how do you step out of the crazy busyness of life and your routines, right? We can get stuck in our patterns of how I treat people and when I wake up and when I get to work and the effort that I put into that. And at the end of the year, it's like, did I get ahead? Was that important to me? What does my life really become? And I don't think it's until we stop to really get connected in whatever exercise or form that looks like, that we really have the ability to become conscious and aware of our surroundings and the people that are in our life, so that we can really seize life and take advantage of what it was really meant to be, claim it and unlock it. Because there's so much to discover. And it's only gonna happen if you allow yourself to get out there and try new things, meet different people, and see the way that people live life differently. So, super cool experience. Bali was just drop dead gorgeous. Seriously, like being up there on that cliff and looking over, it was so majestic. You could see the waves that were rolling in and just slowly beating up against the side of this massive cliff, and the temple and this incredible walkway that walked all along it. And, part of going through this whole exercise is they wanted us to step right into the tradition. And so they had these traditional, I don't know if they were sacred or religious necessarily, but there's a way that they dress when they enter their temples, and so there's this hat that we had to put on, and essentially this skirt-like thing and a special shirt. So it was really neat to just fully embrace what that culture was, because that was really, really neat. The other thing that was really amazing was we're on this walkway walking down to this great lookout point, and all of a sudden this monkey comes out of blue and grabs the side of my face, grabs my glasses, and tries to yank them off of my head, and I barely snatch them back in time. And one of the guides said, hey, these monkeys, they'll take everything and anything you got. And at one point, we're walking away, and you're not hearing one or two monkeys in the bushes. There must have been dozens of them because they were fighting each other. They were making all sorts of crazy sounds and crazy mischief, I guess the way you imagine monkeys do, like in the Jungle Book movie, right? One of my buddies had his sunglasses actually ripped off of his face and stolen. And what's funny is that the monkey actually didn't want the glasses, but they were holding them ransom for food. So the moment you would exchange a banana, boom, you get the glasses back. These monkeys, they're pretty smart, maybe not very different than humans. And so it was really, really mystical. It was really magical. It was very different. And then the evening culminated. In the evening, we got to watch the show. Now, what was truly epic is that we got to watch it at sunset in this amphitheater that overlooked the ocean on this cliff. And they put on this show that I've never seen anything like it before. The way that they were chanting and the way that they were beating their chest. Basically, it was a drama with the play, with the musicians that were basically beating their bodies and making these sounds. It was just crazy. And all of them were making these sounds. And there was a story of this white monkey that went and stole something precious. And I don't even know if I got the whole thing, but I remember being there with my friends and my wife. And after like 30 minutes of this chanting, I was looking at her like, oh man, is anyone else's mind like totally just like taxed from the pattern of that sound beating over and over and over again in your head? Although it was pretty epic at the end. They had built this fire, and the white monkey came out and started kicking the flames at the audience, like all the way across the stage. Man, it was super cool to just breathe in the peace. Those people are so peaceful. They're so good. That whole connecting to higher self. You can tell that even when you're there in a third world, my experience in third world countries like Africa, I just got back from Africa, South Africa. And it's like, it doesn't matter how poor you are, these people know how to be content, happy, and at peace. I think they get the deeper meaning of wealth that sometimes here in Western capitalistic civilization we don't really fully get. And love witnessing that because I want to take a part of that back with me so that I can lay aside the ego and lay aside my goals and lay aside some of the wanting and the improving and the growing and the expanding. I mean, there's a time and a place for that. It's ingrained into part of who I am. But it's nice to give myself permissions at other times to be like these people that just know how to be calm and quiet and at rest. Friends, if you're ready to open up whole new life opportunities and pathways for you, then another way to do that is to come out to one of our live experiences. Click the link over here and see some of the different ways that you and I can get live together and share a life-changing experience.